on, everybody? How are you doing today? Here I am in North Austin. I'm on Anderson Lane. I'm outside of a strip plaza, as you can see behind me. I haven't been to Austin in 4.5 years. 4.5 years ago I was here. I did a bunch of videos, mostly filming locations, some fun stuff. This is something a little different that I'm doing in Austin this time. And I already showed you the plaque dedicated to 4 young women. It's right here in the parking lot. This is my friend Adam. Come on over, Adam. Adam from Adam Was Here.
Hello.
That's his channel, Adam Was Here. There'll be a link below. Adam and I teamed up on about 6 or 7 videos 4.5 years ago. And today we're doing something different because this is a brutal crime. It's about something that happened in a yogurt shop that was right here. Adam covered it on his channel extensively. We're going to take you to the plaque, walk you through this crime, and I want to visit the grave when we're done. And we're going to be able to do that, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about this plaque that's here first. So the plaque reads, in loving memory of Amy Ayers, Sarah Harbison, Jennifer Harbison, Eliza Thomas, forever in our hearts. Jennifer and Sarah were sisters. Eliza and Jennifer were 17. Sarah was 15. Amy was 13. And Jennifer and Eliza worked at an I Can't Believe It's Yogurt, which was located directly behind us. Sarah, Jennifer's younger sister, was friends with Amy. They were hanging out at a mall not too far from here, right?
Yeah, just right down the road to the right, Norcross Shopping Plaza.
So the 2 younger girls came over here because they were going to hang out with the girls till they close and then have a sleepover at the house. Correct?
Yeah, they were going to get a ride home from Jennifer.
Right.
Eliza was separate from the 3.
Right.
She wasn't really part of the 3. They knew her, but she wasn't like friends and family.
I heard that they all there was a farm club at school that they were part of, something like that.
Yeah.
So these are the 4 young girls right here. Here's the shop, right there. Beauty Bar and Lounge is where the yogurt shop was, correct?
Yep.
And those lights you see on either side, they were
Still there.
same ones from.
I
This
believe
crime
it's the
happened
same.
in
1991, December 6th, I believe, 1991. Still unsolved.
Still unsolved. So Adam, Jennifer and Eliza, they were closing up the shop, right? It was it was an 11 o'clock close.
Yep.
It was a Friday night, I believe. People have placed 2 customers, 2 men in the store, said they were acting weird, fidgety, somewhat. That's one thing. Also, whoever committed these crimes, they said could have come in through the back. We're going to walk around back in a moment. What happened inside here?
So around closing time, within the last hour of the hours, between 10:30 and 11, there were 2 customers. If you're looking at if you go through the door to the left, to the wall, the last table against the wall, closer to the cash register, there were 2 guys sitting there, and they were, I mean, I don't know if you would call them suspicious, but they were the last 2 to be seen by other customers. Everybody was interviewed extensively for weeks and weeks. No lead was unturned.
Of course.
And these guys have yet to be identified.
Right.
And that's pretty much.
They don't know if it was them. They don't know if it was.
Who they're suspecting is the killers, but
yeah,
we just don't know who.
We don't know.
They're unidentified.
It's possible. It's possible those 2 gentlemen left. Other people, one perpetrator or 2 or more came in through the front just as they closed, or forced their way in through the back.
So when they closed, they remained in. They locked the door so that no more customers would come in.
Right.
These guys stayed in to finish their yogurt or whatever. The girls start their closing procedures, and of course they didn't finish them. They were interrupted by something.
Right.
And
by something.
That is what we don't know. What exactly was it? These guys? Was it guys that came in from the back? They were interrupted, and obviously we know the result.
So, the girls had closed. The other 2 girls were waiting for them. Essentially, a fire was in the back. Now, a cop was driving by and saw the fire, right?
Yes, Officer John Jones.
And he called the fire department. They came, they put out the fire, and they let him know they found not 1, not 2, not 3,
the fire department was called. Obviously, they responded to the fire. They're in there putting the fire out.
They don't know there's bodies in
No,
there.
no one knows yet. John Jones is doing something completely unrelated. He happens to have a cameraman in his back seat that they were filming something. I forget what the project was, but it was obviously unrelated because this was developing.
Yeah.
They were coming from that direction, if you want to show that. Down Anderson Lane, coming toward us, and they get a call from the fire department saying 2 bodies found. Well, now it turns into a homicide. Now it's in John Jones's lap, right? So then he's responding to it now because now it's a homicide. And then before he even gets there, they say body 3. Like, they're more found.
It doesn't look that much different.
No.
From what I've seen. Now, 3 of the girls were found almost stacked on top of each other in the very back, right?
So they were intentionally. So I don't know if you want me to say, but basically they were
bound and gagged with their own underwear, sexually assaulted,
and shot in the head,
execution style.
Right, and the perpetrators, their intention was to stack them on a pile of bodies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And thinking they were all dead.
Right.
And then
Amy, the youngest.
Then set them on fire to dispose of the evidence and remains. And little Amy, the youngest, the 13-year-old, was actually still alive. And she makes her way off of the pile, wherever she was in it.
I think before they started the fire, because they tried to, sorry to interrupt, but they hit her with a cash register. She was found with something around her neck. They tried to strangle her, and then they shot her a second time.
And there's a diagram or a map or whatever of where the bodies were when they found them, and Amy's body was clearly so many feet away from, heading toward the restroom. She was trying to get away. She was trying to, so you could tell she was still fighting for her life as much as she possibly could in that state.
So it is a working store now again. I can't believe it's yogurt. And I think you can still see up top, right? Where it used to say, I can't believe it's yogurt. Look at that.
Yes.
Where the old signage used to be.
That's one thing that I pointed. Yeah, that's one thing that I pointed out in my video is if you look closely, you can see the divots. Scott, if you're going to bring in the sign in your video as a then and now, you can see where the yogurt. I can't believe it's yogurt. Where the lettering was placed.
You totally see it.
The divots are still there today. Yeah.
And it was a different kind of door, wasn't it? A double door or something?
This door has completely been redone. You could tell that even the coloring of the brick, it looks newer. Look how it's more light than dark.
Yeah.
This was a double wooden door, if I remember correctly, and now it's that.
Let's walk around back. So we're walking around back. Show you the doorway back, and beyond that doorway is right where the girls were found. Correct?
Yes, in the back, right?
Yes, we're talking about the back.
The back left.
My gosh.
So when we go back there, when we're looking at the back door, it's going to be to our right.
Yes, where the 3 girls were found and Amy to the left.
So if we were to imagine ourselves walking through that back door, immediately when we step in, to our right would be where they were.
Over 50 people confessed to this. And that's because this was one of the biggest crimes in Texas history and definitely for Austin, correct? Yeah. But over 50 people confessed to it and all were ruled out. It's crazy that people would confess to things like that when they didn't do it.
A morbid thing to say, but we're walking the opposite direction of where the perpetrators would have
they would have ran.
In theory, escaped out.
They would have gone
They'd
this
be
way.
coming toward your screen.
Yes.
Right now.
Which door is it?
Keep going. It's a double door.
Oh, it's the double doors.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that far down.
They would have come out and made a right. Right here.
Yep.
So basically where that gutter is probably right beyond that gutter is where the bodies would have
Oh my God.
been, right behind that wall.
So the fire department put the fire out, doused it with so much water. The crime scene was evidence was washed away, essentially, right?
There wasn't much left. Yeah.
There wasn't much left, is what I just read a recent interview with a brother of one of the victims. That's the fire department's job. They have to do that. They put out the fire, so then the cop finds out, oh my God, there's bodies. It becomes a huge investigation. Years later, 4 people were arrested, 4 men, right? Who were teenagers at the time.
Yes.
And 2 of them confessed to it, and they went to prison. But there was overruled that they're free now, if I'm right, 2 of them.
They are. They're all-
Robert
all
Springsteen and Michael Scott were the 2 that confessed, and they said that they were coerced. And then I read also, this is all what I've read, I don't want to put anybody on blast, like the police or whoever did. One of the police officers had a history of eliciting false confessions from people. He'd been accused of that before. But these 2 guys that confessed, it was hours and hours they were interrogated, but then they were released because, and this is where I was confused, so let's go slow on this. They were released because they were not given the chance to confront each other in court, and that goes against federal law. So because they weren't allowed to confront each other, they were released, correct? What was odd is when they were interviewed separately, everything matched, and then when they were really got down to the interview, the details that nobody else would know matched. That's why a lot of people today still consider them to be...
Well, the DNA...
Well, that's the thing. I was just about to get into that.
Yeah.
So their details. So that's odd, but also if they were coerced or if somebody fed them this information, that could be what came up. But DNA was found on one of the girls and ruled out all 4, all of them. Male DNA, right?
Right.
The 2, Springsteen and Scott, 7 jurors from the trial said that they had known the evidence at the time, they would not have convicted them. That they'd have known about the police officer eliciting confessions, right? Mm-hmm. It's very messed up because they have a few suspects, but this is 33 years now. You would think with these 2 guys that confessed that that's it, open and shut, but they're released, and then their DNA is not found. They found DNA from someone else whose DNA was left behind. I would assume they rule out. Now, not to be too graphic, but do we know the type of DNA it was? Was it blood? Was it semen? Was it?
I think they found it in the underwear. So I think it was
okay, so then that's definitely
So
they would rule out everybody, family, and all that sort of thing. We've just been having a discussion off camera all about the legalities of DNA and how it works, and what the police are doing, or forensic investigators as well, what they're doing with the DNA that was found. If they have a person in mind, if they've already possibly got one in mind, but there's a lot of red tape with getting around about how to get that person. I feel like this case will be solved because they have the DNA. And there's so many different ways to track DNA, like familial DNA, family, that sort of thing. But what a horrific event right behind these doors. So these 4 young girls, they were just probably, all giddy, closing up shop for the night, and then
they were about to have a sleepover.
The worst of the worst comes in.
I don't want to say the prime of their lives, but they were...
Sure. About to be.
Just imagine what you were doing and what your mind was set
at 17, 15, and 13.
13 to 17 years old. I mean, like, the last thing that you would imagine is something like this happening to you.
Right. And you think you're safe, and it's a quiet, nice little neighborhood.
And it destroyed. I mean, obviously, just like any tragic crime does, it destroyed the families. Like the parents, some of them, I mean, obviously couldn't get over it, and they had problems after that. The sister of Eliza struggled with trauma, and therapy is what I've seen interviews of her, and she had nightmares of her sister for years and years and years. And we'll see here in a bit. Eliza's mom, I didn't know this until I visited the grave, but she passed away and she's buried right next to Eliza.
Okay.
I think 2015.
All right. So I think we can sum it up by saying it's not known. The case is unsolved. It needs to be solved. We're going to visit the graves of three of the girls are together. So we're going to 2 different cemeteries and pay our respects. This was the site. And we'll walk around front again. So Adam, one thing we should say is behind here is like a dry riverbed, right? It looks like
At least it is now.
It is now. I don't know what it was back then. But there's the doors there. We don't know if they escaped by foot or by car. Whoever the perpetrators are, 1 or 2 or more.
Yeah.
We don't know. It seems that there would be more than one perpetrator because there's 4 girls. You know, one has to hold a gun while one commits certain acts. You know what I mean? But I've said this before in other videos, especially with like West Memphis 3. I don't think it would take too much if you have a gun or you have some sort of weapon to frighten 4 teenage girls. They're going to do what you say because they're going to be trying to they're in survival mode. So it could be one perpetrator. And so, like I was saying, the West Memphis 3, some people think it was more than one person. And I said, well, it could just be one person because it's 3 little boys. They're going to listen to you. They're going to be scared as hell. And these are 4 older girls, but still, if you got a weapon in front of them, hell, they got a weapon in front of you and I, men. You know what I mean? For sure.
We're complying.
You're complying. Yeah. So,
No
no doubt. So these 4 poor girls were terrorized by 1 or more. And how it went down, we don't know exactly. We know Amy fought. She fought hard.
Yeah,
I'm sure they all did, but Amy at the end, when she realized she was still alive, she fought hard. The youngest one, she fought really hard.
13.
But they could have escaped through here. And they'd be out on the other side of there, away, gone. It's the middle of the night. It's 11 o'clock at night. It's dark.
Yeah, I can't remember how long it took from, like, for the fire department to respond.
Mm-hmm.
So...
They're long gone.
At that point,
they're
like
5 minutes
how
away.
How much of a jump start did they have?
By car, you could be 5 miles away. By foot, you could be a mile away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Adam, right now there are people in there working. There's a working salon now. You've got some close-up footage I'm going to borrow from you.
Sure.
From your video to show what it looks like inside now. We'll put that in right now. This is what it looks like. This is from Adam. Filmed it. How long ago did you film this? About a year?
This was actually earlier this year, like May.
Okay. So that's what it looks like inside. Right now, I'm not going to go in and ask. There are people working.
Salon.
It's a working salon.
Actually, I could see the salon artist or whatever, like looking up and looking at us.
Yeah, and putting it to the window. They're doing their job, and some women are, if they're getting waxed right now with their feet up. I'm not going to be a creepy guy putting the camera up to that. Yeah. So thank you for that footage. Now let's go visit Eliza first.
Yeah, she's about 3 miles or so.
Okay.
From here. Yeah.
Let's go. Adam, we made it over here, and Eliza's just gonna be to our right. You found her grave.
Just beyond this tree.
Yeah. This park. It's in section 5A. There's two big trees in the middle. Eliza's right over here. This cemetery, I'm not impressed. There's some. It's a little like hoses lying around, bottles strewn about in this section, right? It's kind of rough. Now, it's possible that a storm went through here, maybe. I don't know, but
the unleveling of the ground is really...
it's like broken headstones over there.
Yeah, like an earthquake went here.
Yeah. Where's Eliza? Poor girl. Oh, here she is. Wow. Is that her signature?
That's what I was thinking. I mean, it has to be. I mean, it's like engraved in the "Love y'all."
Yeah.
Eliza. And her mother's to the right.
Right. Eliza Hope Thomas, May 16th, 1974 to December 6th, 1991. So, let's see, yeah, she's 17. She turned 17 in May.
Yeah. She would have been 18 the following May.
Right. God. So it looks like that could possibly be her signature they've put on it, which is sweet. And that bird's over here. Oh, man. It's really... I don't know what...
The dirt?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
If it's come out of the sand or, come out of the flower. But some people have brought rocks, 4 rocks, possibly for the 4 girls. Let's clean it off a little bit.
Same bouquet.
Yeah.
It's here in May. When
Same bouquet?
Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah, I remember that. That shell, I think is...
Well, there's a shell on the mom's too, but there's this weird sand. Like it's weird. It's
I wonder
weird.
if they had some type of fascination with the beach or something.
I don't... Yeah, maybe... Oh, I hope... No, I don't...
Maybe that's why they put... I don't know.
Because there is a shell with her mom's, with the sand...
Look, the sand from a beach.
Yeah, oh shoot, did I just wipe that off? And I'm sorry. Our mother, Maria Rose Thomas, January 13th, 1955. March 24th, 2015. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on.
She was only 60.
That's,
wow.
Like, what are we, 15 and 9? 24 years of hardcore grief.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say grief and stress and
heartbreak. Those last 24 years were not, I'm sure, your father, Adam.
No, I can only imagine.
Right?
Especially...
You have 2 teenagers.
Way,
yeah.
Yeah, my kids are actually a year or 2 older than Eliza was when she passed.
Unbelievable.
She's past that age. So.
Yeah. So, there she is. We're going to go visit the other girls now. So what you were going to say?
I was just saying, like, this poor girl was just trying to do the right thing and make some money, attain goals and make some side money at this job. Yogurt shop wasn't hurting anybody.
No.
And
they never
her life was cut short.
Probably had
senseless.
Big plans for what she wanted to do with her life.
Yeah, she was really into. If you look her up and you'll see what I found was that she was like into horses.
Yes, I heard that.
And farm, and these were like hardcore country girls. But I mean, I say that vaguely, but yeah, she was into horses. Is what I read. So like fairs, rodeos,
right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna walk right in here, section P. There's a main entrance. There's a lot of construction, so we came in the side entrance by the funeral home. But there is a more impressive entrance, but we didn't come in that entrance because there's a lot of construction on that. walking around for a while. And Adam, what does that say? In the bands. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay, so we've got Jennifer Ann Harbison, May 9th, 1974, December 6th, 1991. Sarah Louise Harbison, October 20th, 1976, 28th, 8th, December 6th, 1991.
That's our birthday.
Amy Lee Ayers, January 31st, 1978 to December 6th, 1991. Now, those were to be photo. Are those? They've got their names engraved on them. Sarah, see that?
Oh, open
Jennifer.
Sorry. Open that up.
Right. It's gonna be a photo. It's gonna be a
Open that
photograph.
photo.
I know.
Sorry.
I knew it was coming. Jeez. Ay. Oh, come on.
I know. I wiped it off earlier, a few months ago. It's crazy how that builds up.
Yeah. Does Amy's doesn't have her name on it. Oh, it's sealed. Oh no, there we go. Okay. Slide. These are children. These are kids. All right, Adam, thank you so much. Lots of knowledge. Thank you. I appreciate it. And rest in peace, Jennifer, Sarah, Amy, and Eliza. And I think we both agree that whoever did this, we hope they're caught. It doesn't matter how old they are now. Like if they were like 40 or 50 when they did it, maybe 80, 70 now. I hope they get.
I feel like they were around their age at the time.
Possibly.
So they would be about 50 now, but I'm hoping they're all still alive and they get caught and
Brought to
justice is served. Which I think
I don't even know.
We're very close to
hope so.
To solving this.
What is justice though for the taking of 4 lives? What would be the justice?
I mean, what do you have besides life of imprisonment and
death
penalty? I mean, I honestly kind of think that's a whole nother conversation, but the death penalty is a little kind of cheating.
That's what I say. We never talked about this. That's what I say. I think putting for criminals that do something like this violent. I always say, if you've seen some of my past videos, I've said, put them in a cell, and instead of getting more privileges each year, you get taken away. The cell gets smaller and smaller until it's the size of that bench.
Right.
That's a pretty. Not many people can handle, prison and then solitary confinement and then a tiny cell. I don't know. I think you're right. Get death.
And just let them rot for the rest of their days.
Yeah.
Yep.
With nothing. We're going to give them anything for a crime like this. Thanks, Adam. Anything you want to add at the end here?
No, I mean, not really. It's just not anything else we haven't already said, but it's just a senseless crime. And these girls, their lives, they had their entire lives ahead of them.
Yeah.
And it was cut short. And they're forever 13 to 17 years old, as you saw in Scott's, the footage there of their pictures.
That's them.
That's how they'll forever be, and it's just super sad because they would be,
They'd be out working. They could be captains of
upper
industry,
40s, 50 years
married
old,
with kids of their own. The whole thing.
Possibly grandchildren.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
And it's extremely sad.
Or an equestrian like Eliza, like you don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Thanks for watching, everybody. Rest in peace to the 4 girls. All right. Thanks, Adam. Peace out.